Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Longing. Today we are once again going to be continuing to read the Iliad by Homer. So let's get going with that. He spoke with all his force, the javelin flung, fixed deep and loudly in the buckler rung. Far on his outstretched arm Pelides held, to meet the thundering lance, his dreadful shield, that trembled as it struck, nor void of fierce, saw ere it fell the immeasurable spear. His fears were vain, impenetrable charms secured the temper of the ethereal arms. Though two strong plates the point its passage held, but stopped and rested by the third repelled. 5 plates of various metal, various mould, composed the shield, of brass each outward fold, of tin each inward, and the middle gold. There struck the lance, then rising ere he threw, the forceful spear of great Achilles flew, and pierced the Dardan shield's extremest bound, where the shrill brass returned a sharper sound. Through the thin verge the Pelian weapon glides, and the slight covering of expanded hides. Cneus his contracted body bends, and o'er him high the riven targe extends, sees through its parting plates the upper air, and at his back perceives the quivering spear. A fate so near him chills his soul with fright, and swims before his eyes the many-coloured light. Achilles, rushing in with dreadful cries, draws his broad blade, and at Cneus flies. Cneus, rousing as the foe came on, with force collected heaves a mighty stone, a mass enormous which in modern days no two of earth's degenerate sons could raise. But ocean's god, whose earthquakes rock the ground, saw the distress and moved the powers around. Lo, on the brink of fate Cneus stands, an instant victim to Achilles' hands. By Phoebus urged, but Phoebus has bestowed his aid in vain. The man overpowers the god. And can ye see this righteous chief atone with guiltless blood for vices not his own? To all the gods his constant vows were paid. Sure, though he wars for Troy, he claims our aid. Fate wills not this, nor thus can Jove resign the future father of the Dardan line. 266. The first great ancestor obtained his grace, and still his love descends on all the race. For Priam now, and Priam's father, faithless kind, at length are odious to the all-seeing mind. On great Cneus shall devolve the reign, and sons succeeding sons the lasting line sustain. The great earth-shaker thus to whom replies the imperial goddess with the radiant eyes. Good as he is, to immolate or spare the Dardan prince, O Neptune, be thy care. Pallas and I, by all that gods can bind, have sworn destruction to the Trojan kind. Not even an instant to protract their fate, or save one member of the sinking state, till her last flame be quenched with her last gore, and even her crumbling ruins are no more. The king of ocean to the fight descends, through all the whistling darts his course he bends. Swift interposed between the warrior flies, and casts thick darkness o'er Achilles' eyes. 267. From great Cneus' shield the spear he drew, and at his master's feet the weapon threw. That done, the force divine he snatched on high the Dardan prince, and bore him through the sky. Smooth gliding, without step above the heads of warring heroes and of bounding steeds, till at the battle's utmost verge they light, where the slow caulkins close the rear of fight. The godhead there his heavenly form confessed, with words like these the panting chief addressed. What power, O prince, with force inferior far, urged thee to meet Achilles' arm in war? Henceforth beware, nor antedate thy doom, defrauding fate of all thy fame to come. But when the day decreed, for come it must, shall lay this dreadful hero in the dust, let then the furies of that arm be known, secure no Grecian force transcends thy own. With that he left him, wondering as he lay, then from Achilles chased the mist away. Sudden returning with a stream of light, the scene of war came rushing on his sight. Then thus amazed, what wonders strike my mind, my spear that parted on the wings of wind, laid here before me, and the Dardan lord, that fell this instant, vanished from my sword. I thought alone with mortals to contend, but powers celestial sure this foe defend. Great as he is, our arms he scarce will try, content for once with all his gods to fly. Now then let others bleed, this said aloud, he vents his fury and inflames the crowd. O Greeks, he cries, and every rank alarms, join battle man to man, and arms to arms. 'Tis not in me, though favoured by the sky, to mow whole troops and make whole armies fly. No god can singly such a host engage, not Mars himself, nor great Minerva's rage. But whatsoe'er Achilles can inspire, whate'er of active force or acting fire, whate'er this heart can prompt or hand obey, all Achilles, Greeks, is yours today. Through yon wide host this arm shall scatter fear, and thin the squadrons with my single spear. He said, nor less elate with martial joy, the godlike Hector warmed the troops of Troy. Trojans, to war, think Hector leads you on, nor dread the vaunts of Peleus' haughty son. Deeds must decide our fate, e'en these with words insult the brave who tremble at their swords. The weakest atheist wretch all heaven defies, but shrinks and shudders when the thunder flies. Nor from yon boaster shall your chief retire, not through his heart where steel his hands were fire. That fire, that steel your Hector should withstand, and brave that vengeful heart, that dreadful hand. Thus, breathing rage through all, the hero said, a wood of lances rises round his head. Clamours on clamours tempest all the air, they join, they throng, they thicken to the war. But Phoebus warns him from high heaven to shun the single fight with Thetis' godlike son. More safe to combat in the mingled band, nor tempt too near the terrors of his hand. He hears obedient to the god of light, and plunged within the ranks awaits the fight. Then fierce Achilles, shouting to the skies, on Troy's whole force with boundless fury flies. First falls Iphition at his army's head. Brave was the chief, and brave the host he led. From great Otrynteus he derived his blood. His mother was Anais of the flood. Beneath the shades of Tmolus, crowned with snow, from Hyades' walls he ruled the lands below. Fierce as he springs, the sword his head divides, the parted visage falls on equal sides. With loud resounding arms he strikes the plain, while thus Achilles glories o'er the slain. Lie there, Otryntides, the Trojan earth receives thee dead, though Gygae boast thy birth. Those beauteous fields where Hylos' waves are rolled, and plenteous Hermus swells with tides of gold, are thine no more, the insulting hero said, and left him sleeping in eternal shade. The rolling wheels of Greece the body tore, and dashed their axles with no vulgar gore. And with that, we come to the end of another episode. Call blimey. So, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night, No matter what time of day it is, I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.